So today I'm going to be talking about how to use data and information for content marketing. And iCharts is a software company. We are based in Sunnyvale. iCharts is a software as a service. It's a cloud-based software where you can create charts and data graphics for a variety of purposes. Those are social and interactive charts. And my focus of the presentation today is how you can use for marketing using data graphics and charts. So before I start, what is visual content marketing? And the idea of content marketing these days is that everything is relying on content, whether it's video or infographics or even blogs or articles or PDFs and white papers, and now interactive charts. And the idea is to share content as part of your marketing process with your targeted audiences. Today, the buyers are a little bit more sophisticated. They want to learn everything about you. They want to experience your product or service before they even talk to you. And this would be one way of sharing using data graphics and infographics and data as part of your content marketing mix. And the idea is that you can use this to build your brand, generate leads, and create new business opportunities. Let me show you how it can be done. So let's assume you have some data to share today. You are a survey company, you are a polling company, you are a market researcher, you may be a nonprofit, or you may be some data provider who collect measurement or market forecast data, and you sell reports in PDF formats or maybe some online format. But you always have some sort of a free data to share, either in your press release or on your website or your blog, with the hope of marketing your services, with the hope of selling more products, more reports, and so on. But how do you do it today? You have a static table which you put on a website, or you may have a PowerPoint chart and you take the image out of that PowerPoint, sometimes not in a very, sometimes they can be very granular, low fidelity, and you put that into your website and into your press releases or into your blog. And that's how most sharing is done today. And we think there's a lost opportunity in terms of there is no branding on those data. There is no user engagement or viewer engagement. And there's no social benefit out of those static images and static tables. So there is a new way to do that. And the new way is social and interactive visualization. Now, we've heard a lot about interactivity. And what I mean by that is infographics, we've seen some infographics today in this presentation, and there is a role for good infographics in terms of marketing. But as you also know, they are a little difficult to create. It requires designers. There's a time and budget factor to it. But sometimes you don't have that luxury. You may not have the budget. You may not have the time. It's a fast turnaround time. You finish a survey and you want to quickly share the result. You don't have time for infographics, so you create something called a data graphic. This is nothing but a chart, but you make it interactive. You make it interactive in a way that engages the user. And there are lots of interactive features that are now available in the marketplace. For example, when you hover around the data points, you will see some descriptive text. If you have a time series chart, you can zoom in and out of those time series, so you can focus on a narrow time zone. If you have multiple data series, you can show and hide certain data series and focus on only the points that are relevant to you. So you make your data graphic interactive for your user to engage with, which might be a little bit more engaging than a very long, hard-to-read infographic, which is harder to produce. So the idea is you convert your PowerPoint images and your static tables and make interactive visualization. Interactivity can take a lot of different forms. You can also have data interactivity. For example, you just did a survey of some customer satisfaction, and you create a chart that shows the Likert scale in a visualization, but your viewer is interested to know how did a particular age group or a particular income group react. You want them to be able to drill down right there within the chart, and that is something you can build into the interactive feature as well. So having the chart interactive engages your audience as well. And the other aspect is you make it social. And social has a lot of benefits. I have an example. We won't show it to you now, but when you download the slides, I have a small box there. Click for live example. You click on that, and you will actually see a live example of how one of our clients is actually using a social and interactive chart for content marketing purposes. So what social does is it takes that same graphic, same chart, and makes it available across the web and across the social networks. Here's an example. This is actually a real-life example. IDC, which is a market research company, they used to have static tables in their press releases after they had done some tracking survey. For example, they still do about like 200 tracking studies a year, and one of them would be, say, PC market trends, and there would be like a small table in the press release. There's no social benefit, there's no branding benefit. What they have done now is they have created a social and interactive chart that is branded to their identity, and they have inserted that into their press release. So what happens is that people who are reading the press release, they are able to take that chart and easily re-embed it into their own website. These are all real examples like CNET and Mashable and even newspapers like The Guardian. They have taken the same graphic and re-embedded it, very much like a YouTube video. And what happens now is it goes to all these hundreds of sites, and suddenly IDC as a customer have now gained additional eyeballs to the same graphic. It's very hard to copy a chart that is static, that is a table. Nobody does that. But if you have an infographic style that has an embed button like a YouTube video or a share button, then it makes it easier for other websites and blogs to reuse that into their own articles, and now suddenly you have gained a lot more eyeballs. And then from these websites, from these hundreds of websites, it further goes viral as people share on social, on Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, any other website. They email the chart, hey, I found this something interesting from IDC, thought you would like it, and they share it. Now, the thing is, now you have shared the chart now, you have suddenly gained a lot of different eyeballs. How do you leverage it? How do you leverage it for content marketing purposes? So one thing you could do is all of those charts can lead to a landing page. So you can create a landing page on your site and that has the same chart, and now you can use that landing page for our marketing purposes. For example, in this particular case, I have a lead form on the right-hand side where the user can fill in some information and request additional information. Another way, so let me give you the benefits first of this using social and interactive charts instead of static tables and PowerPoint images. There are three main benefits. You get branding benefit, lead generation, and new business opportunities. Let me explain those in a bit. So one thing that IDC realized by using social and interactive charts is that they've increased their brand impression 5x times. So what that means is that when they had a static table, they had X number of eyeballs on their website. By simply converting that into a data graphic that was social and interactive, which other websites picked up and the social media picked up, the number of eyeballs went up on an average 5x times. And you have a lot of branding opportunities. What you can do is within the data graphic, you can include your logo. You can hyperlink those logo as well, and you can drive traffic to wherever you want it to drive. So there are many different places on the graphic that you could brand, and there's a lot of branding opportunities. And you should be able to measure how many impressions you are getting, and that way you can see who is re-embedding my content and where is it getting re-embedded, who is sharing, where are they getting shared from, and that gives you a clue into how your content marketing effort is paying off. And this is all possible because of the social and interactive nature of the data graphic. If you had an image and those images get reused, you lose that, and you don't get to quite measure it. So the idea is to count all your chart impressions and social share activity. You can generate leads on the landing page. So as the data graphic gets shared from your website or your blog or your press release, it goes to hundreds of sites. as people share across the websites and social, they all can come back to a common landing page that you can create. And on that landing page, you can have a lead form which says, I want more information. You can use any kind of marketing message on that lead page. So what is really happening is you create a chart, put it on your website, you proliferate it on the web, on the social network, and allow the viewers and the readers of the chart to come back to one page. Now you can drive marketing to them as well. So you either create a landing page, or you can even have an advertisement on that landing page to drive them to somewhere else. So that's the second benefit, is you can use this for like lead generation. And you could also use this for new business. For example, you may have a data graphic that you share publicly on a press release, but what you really want to do is sell a report. You want to sell either the full report, or you want to sell additional cuts of data for a certain amount of money. So on the landing page itself, you can say, here's the chart. Would you like to purchase the same data, but with the following filters like gender, income group, or age group? It could be anything, and here's the price for that. This is just an example. And when a user goes to the landing page and they buy, the same chart now appears with some filters, or you can actually replace it with a PDF file. Whatever method you have to show the full report or the full data set, you can allow users to buy it instantly and sell more data. So what we have discussed is branding benefits, lead generation, or selling more data cuts of your data. And brand impressions increase by 4x and 5x. You can measure the effectiveness of your content. You can generate leads from the system, or you can just create a brand new revenue stream for yourself. So just by having a social and interactive chart, you can have a dramatic effect on your marketing. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. And I just want to let you know that iChart, you can sign up. It's free. And you can do whatever I have discussed today is available. And you can, if you have any questions, you can send us an email as well. And I think my information will be available in the slides that you download.